I hate remakes. I think they're unnecessary and show a lack of originality in Hollywood. And at this point, instead of investing in fresh ideas and original content, studios rely on remakes sort of as a safe bet and easy cash grab. And they're so oversaturated too. There has been a surge of remakes, reboots, sequels, adaptations, and sequel boots, and at this point, it just feels overwhelming. Now, here's the thing. Remakes are fine if you're remaking something that maybe had a great premise but was not executed very well. Like, I can excuse those remakes. The ones that I can't excuse are the ones that are so obviously made for easy cash grabs. I'm sure the entire time I was talking, you were probably thinking about Disney's live action remakes, and you're right. But I couldn't just make a video about just Disney remaking movies because it's not just them doing it, it's Hollywood in general. And I'll be honest, I didn't really care about it at first until I heard that How to Train Your Dragon was getting a live action remake. Look, when people were talking about the live action remake of this movie, a lot of people were mainly asking why Astrid is going to be played by a person of color, and honestly, I couldn't care less about that. The real question people should be asking is why is this remake even happening at all? The movies were perfect on their own, and while they may not have been anything like the books, they were still great on their own even if the books didn't exist, which is something that can't be said for most book to movie adaptations. This just feels so unnecessary and such a waste of people's time. And honestly, with how things are going with VFX artists being overworked and abused and writers being on strike, I don't mean to be pessimistic, but it just doesn't look like things are going to go well with this adaptation. The only sliver of hope I have for this remake is the fact that the director of the animated movies is directing the remake, but then again that could always go wrong too. And all these AI generated images of Toothless are not making it any better. And if that wasn't enough, apparently they're making Moana a live action movie too, with Dwayne Johnson reprising his role. Honestly, with everything that's been going on with him lately, I wouldn't be surprised if this was his idea. What is the point of this remake? It's almost like the people in charge of Disney were like,
Okay, so what's a movie we already made that people loved and could turn into a live-action musical?
Ooh, The Incredibles.
That's not a musical.
Yeah, and we haven't even released the third one yet.
Tell that to The Last of Us.
I'm not a huge fan of Moana like other people are, but even I know that nobody asked for this. In fact, I think people are getting tired of them because honestly, some of them are going so far outside their existing material that I don't even know how to react anymore. Like, seriously, Disney, what is this? I know you can't please everyone when it comes to entertainment, remakes especially, but I feel like with all the hate and drama that these remakes are getting, even before they're even released, Hollywood should just take the hint and start trying other things, and just let a timeless classic be just that. Unfortunately though, I don't think they're going to stop anytime soon because these remakes make a lot of money and spark a lot of attention even if it's bad attention. Cause based on how things are going, the next thing I know, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and see that Tangled is getting a live action remake with Addison Rae as Rapunzel.
Sort of way, yes.
Well, Mr. Funny Man, is this how you get your sick kicks?
What? It's just an ordinary crabby. Oh my goodness! Squidward!
If anybody from Disney is watching, don't get any ideas, I wasn't being serious. Like I said earlier, I can excuse remakes when they actually deserve it. Like Dune. The 1984 Dune isn't great, and a lot of things resulted in this, such as the limitations of VFX, a very complex story, and of course, studio interference. Because of all this, David Lynch wasn't able to quite make the movie he wanted, which resulted in one of the most disappointing book-to-movie adaptations. But then came Warner Brothers, who decided to make the beloved sci-fi adventure and give it the proper adaptation it deserves. Because now that VFX has evolved so far, they were able to bring some of the material to life. There's only a handful of movies that I believe should be remade, and one of them is Hoodwinked. No, I don't mean a live-action remake, I mean an actual remake like Justice League and Zack Snyder's Justice League. And the reason for that is because if you've ever seen Hoodwinked, you would know that the animation is famously bad. It literally looks like a rough cut animation of the original Toy Story, but worse. Other than the horrible animation, Hoodwink actually has a pretty solid story. It kind of in a way reminds me of Knives Out and Shrek mixed. The only things that were really bad about this film is that it was made under the Weinstein Company and the animation. If whoever is watching this happens to be an animator, please reanimate this movie. Like, I would give anything to see an updated version of this movie. But besides that, remakes like Oldboy and Black Christmas shouldn't even have been made in the first place. And the thing about remakes is that they often take away the attention of other films. Like in 2019, there were so many remakes that people hardly saw masterpieces that were coming out the same year. The thing that frustrates me the most about this is the fact that these remakes make so much more money than most original content that if you think they're oversaturated right now, imagine in 10 years at the rate things are going. Alright, so that's my rant for today, and if you by some miracle made it this far into the video, please consider subscribing, and thanks for watching.